So, today's question is, I'm absolutely obsessed with Sherlock Holmes, and he uses a memory palace. Is it a real thing? And if it is, how do you do it? It is absolutely a real thing, yeah. A memory palace is also known as the method of loci. It's a memory enhancement technique that uses visualization to organize and recall information. The idea is based on the premise that you can remember places that you're familiar with, like your home, for example, much more easily than complex information such as a long list of words or numbers. Now, if you've ever seen memory champions, if you've ever seen them remember, copious amounts of information, they use memory palaces, and so they're able to remember this vast amount of information. So how do you do it? Well, to create a memory palace, first of all, you have to start by picking a familiar location. Your house is probably the best one to start with. But whatever you pick, it doesn't matter. You need to know the place intimately and well enough to be able to visualize it without being there physically, which is why it's a good idea to start with your house. So once you've selected the place, you have to imagine a route through it. So this could start at the front door and then move from room to room. The important thing, though, is that you always follow the same path. So after the route is firmly established in your mind, you start placing items that you want to remember along the path. So let's say you want to remember, I don't know, a shopping list. So you might visualize, you come up to the front door of your house and you might visualize an oversized loaf of bread sitting on your doormat. And when you open the door, you might see spilt milk all over the floor in the hallway. Then you go into the next room and you might see a monkey eating a banana in an armchair, and so on. You get the idea. The more vivid and unique the mental image, the better it is that you remember it. So when you then need to recall the information, all you do is you walk through your memory palace in your mind and you recall these bizarre images that you've placed there along the way. And as you walk through, you'll remember the loaf of bread, then the milk, then the bananas. And in this way, you recall a series of items or facts, but you recall them in order. It does take some initial effort, of course, to create the palace, but once you've done that, it can significantly enhance your ability to remember. I use it all the time, and I have many different palaces for different things. It's quite flexible. You can create multiple memory palaces for different sets of information. The key thing to remember, though, for a successful memory palace is visualization and consistency in following the route that you laid out in the beginning. Try it. It's brilliant. Although, of course, if I remember correctly, Sherlock Holmes has this whole big imagining thing that he sees. Yeah, that doesn't happen.